Formula Ford champion in Marco Manson. Marco has blitzed the field all season. Hey, welcome to the Inside Line. Congratulations, Formula Ford champ. How does that feel?
Good, thanks, yeah.
How dominant were you when it came to race wins this season?
Pretty good. I think I got 11 of the 15, so...
Pretty good. As a young driver, you're 15 now, right? Just turned, right?
Yeah.
Belated happy birthday, because I know it was only last week or something.
Yeah.
Do you fear? Is there fear when you drive at speed and when you're looking at corners and passing?
Not really, but sometimes, yeah.
When are those sometimes moments?
Just when you're racing with some people that are a bit more sketchy, that's when you've got a bit of fear, but...
What do you call sketchy? How do you describe it?
Probably just people that are probably not scared of anything, of crashing, so that's a bit scary.
And are you always thinking about the equipment, or are you thinking about yourself?
Well, I'm not thinking about the equipment or anything, but obviously crashing's not what you want to do, so trying to keep the car in one piece, but winning a race is better than finishing second, so whatever you can do.
You just love winning, right? I mean, you are one of the most talented drivers we have seen in a long, long time. Does it come naturally, or have you had to learn to be this quick?
Well, I've had a lot of help from having an older brother. He's taught me and helped with all the equipment and helped it be really good. But I've found it semi-natural, and I've always been quite good, I think.
When did you think you knew you were quite good at this?
Well, I was always kind of good in the wet and the go-karts, and that I was quite good in the wet. But when I hopped into the cars, my first couple of days in the car was actually quite fast, like compared to most other people's first days in the car. So that was quite a cool thing. And then hopped into my first race meeting and got podiums every round. So that was pretty cool.
Was it difficult to adjust from karts to the bigger, for you, the bigger open wheeler?
Well, I know a lot of people think it is, but I don't find it too hard to get into a Formula car. But I've driven an 86 a few times, and I find sitting on one side is a bit odd, but I don't find it in a Formula car too hard. Okay,
so right now you've declared for Marco Manson, it's open wheels all the way.
Yes, definitely.
Who have been you said Sebastian, they were talking about your brother, helping you out. The motorsport is all about this, right? The top 2 inches, the brain, right? At this point in time, are you getting help to focus and all those little things you need to do to be the difference between no podium and on the podium and winning races?
Well, I have a little bit of help from my main coach, James Lachlan, who's quite good.
Yeah.
But also just thinking positive in a race weekend and trying to do my best is always helpful, yeah.
So, Mum and Dad tell me that you're homeschooled, right? To make it easy so you don't take time off school. How much time are you spending on a sim?
Ooh.
Oh, hang on. Big moment here.
Well, I have small breaks in between my classes, so usually I just pop to my sim room and hop on that in between, but I try to get all my homework done as fast as I can.
Okay. Yeah, we know Mum's sitting over there, so that was a good call. How many hours a week are you on the sim? Come on, let's throw it out there.
A day I'd probably spend about 2.5 hours on it.
Are we talking 5 days a week or 7 days a week?
Well, whenever I'm not driving in a car or busy, I'd usually be on a sim.
So would it be fair to say 15 hours a week in the sim is a reasonable number?
I'd say about 10 or so hours, because some days it might be a little bit less, but definitely a few hours, yeah.
How much of a difference spending that much time on the sim is it making to your racecraft?
Well, I just race with my mates, so we're a lot of close battling, but because it's a sim you can just reset. But I've been putting a little bit more effort into it currently and gotten a bit better and found a little bit more stuff on the sim.
What cars have you been driving to make that better?
Well, I did do a little bit of Formula Ford stuff on the sim, but I'm doing a little bit more F4 stuff, which is a bit more fun. Yeah.
So that's what the news you're going to tell us, right? What's happening with F4 for you this year?
Well, I'm going to do the F4 Australia series this year, which starts in early May.
Excited about that?
Yeah, quite excited.
How many rounds is that?
I'm pretty sure it's 5.
Pretty sure it's 5.
Yeah.
Okay. And what team will you race with?
Well, it's going to be run by Mark and Tim. So Mark Pilcher from M2 and Tim Macro Racing. So that'll be quite a good team.
Do you have any time that you don't do this, that you don't spend just in front of a sim or talking about racing? I mean, I know you're only 15, mate. Do you feel like you've got a normal life, though?
Kinda.
Kinda?
Yeah. Well, don't spend as much time at school, but I definitely have a pretty cool lifestyle, just going from track to track, different places around the world, which is pretty cool.
How important is having a mum and dad that want you to do this and see you achieve, and you've got a brother doing it as well?
I'm pretty happy I have a family that is racing enthusiast, happy about it, because I would much prefer to be racing cars than playing soccer or something like that.
Well, so you know what you want to do. I mean, Dad drives GTs. Have you ever thought of, having a crack at a GT just to show him how quick you are?
Kinda, but I really do want to do more open wheeler stuff. So
it's the obvious question: is F1 the dream?
Yes, that is. Yeah.
Have you given yourself a time frame? We see Kimi Antonelli, right? Youngest ever to lead the Formula One Championship. He's 19. You're only 4 years away. Is that something that you believe is potentially realistic?
It could be, but that would be quite a big step up in the next couple of years. But I hope to be there in a few years, which would be quite cool.
Who would you drive for? Who would you want to drive for?
Well, I would drive for any team that I could get into, but a big dream has always been Red Bull.
Red Bull, not McLaren.
No.
New Zealand, the New Zealand name. Why Red Bull? Is it because of Liam?
A little bit, but also like Max, and he's a big star and he's quite cool. So it's always been a dream just being with Red Bull, because it's just Red Bull.
Yeah, no, I get that completely. Is Max your hero?
Max is my hero, but also I have a few other favourite drivers who would be like Liam and Isaac, who are quite good drivers, I think.
Wow. What do you think? What do you think it would be like being an F1 right now? The 15-year-old you.
It would be quite cool. That wouldn't be something you'd imagine, but it would be quite cool.
I got one final thought. It's not a positive thought, but I want to ask you this question because we know you're good, right? Let's be blunt. How do you accept failure, not winning?
Well, obviously it's not the greatest thing, but as long as I can learn from it and move on and hopefully win the next step, then yeah.
Do you go and win Australian F4?
Well, hopefully, yeah.
I like this guy. Marco Manson, congratulations, Formula 4 Championship, and just maybe our next F1 driver, huh?
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, pal.
Thanks.